All right. Well, it's our members' time, and we like to say hello to our members first.
All right.
And give them some
Well,
support.
it's our members.
So, we like to get in here and give our members their time first thing in the morning. All right, guys, it's time for Monday morning mayhem. All right, so here's what's going on. We're going to talk about some stuff. We're gonna go on a little tour around the Star Wars community. We're gonna go ahead and talk about some things that I didn't see any reporting on. We're gonna go on some stuff that I did see some reporting on. But let's start with the veggies, I guess. So I have been watching and waiting and not really contributing to everything that's going on with the fandom. I've been trying to play my games and have my fun and try not to get involved with the, insanity that is the fandom. But I saw some interesting stuff over the weekend and I thought, this might be a good time to go ahead and see what's what, right? So, first and foremost, we're going to talk about we're going to switch real quick. We're going to talk about the backlash from the actors of the Acolyte. So we're going to start with the veggies, and then we're going to get to the meat and potatoes of everything, and then maybe even some dessert at the end. So we're looking at these pages on the Twitter, and we see, Jodie Turner-Smith blast Disney for not defending the Acolyte cast. And she says they have got to stop doing this thing where they don't say anything when people are getting fucking dogpiled on the internet with racist and bullshit. Racism and bullshit. It's just not fair to say anything. It's really unfair. Okay. So that's kind of the start where we'll start. And it kind of feels like there's a lot of, I don't know, there's still a lot of anger in the air regarding the Acolyte. Now, whether that has to do with the show underperforming, whether it has to do with the show having a very large budget, or if it has to do with the fandom, kind of imploding on this subject. So I don't really know, but I understand where the actors are coming from. Now, look, I also don't understand. I'm also with her, right? I'm also with this because you got to understand that Disney, in their own way, sticks their big mouth foot in their mouth because you do nothing pre-show, right? Before the show airs, you do nothing but talk about the show. And you let your directors run rampant talking about the show. And then the show comes out, the actors get brutalized, right? Obviously Leslie and Kathleen get their usual brand of hate, but the actors get a bit of this backlash, this hateful backlash, and the mouse says nothing. And I think that's, I don't know. I don't think that's the right move because these actors have a large platform, they have a large voice, they can, if the show is getting canceled, they don't have to worry about coming back. So there's a lot of opportunity for them to talk negatively about the show, about the organization and all that fun stuff. I mean, I don't expect any of them to really get the Gino Carano treatment, but then again, you never know with the House of Mouse. So it's an interesting way to it's an interesting way for the actors to feel. I totally understand it. They're feeling a bit salty right now because they're not renewed as far as the world is concerned. And so if they're not renewed, they don't have to worry about getting, employed by by Disney right now, and so they can say really whatever they like. So, you know, well, I mean, deflection of criticism with the claims of racist. Yeah, okay. But at the same time, um, there is a lot of negativity surrounding a show that nobody had seen a frame of because of who was running it, because of who was acting in it. Um, so I mean, the show got an abundance of hate from Jump Street. It wasn't like people saw the show and then started hating on it. It had already had an aggressive ramp up of hate before the first frame had been seen. So, and like I said, there are missteps in all of these, in all of these Star Wars shows. There are giant missteps. And in that regard, it needs, you know, Lucasfilm, Disney. I've been reading articles saying that the comic book personas, the comic book movie creators, are going to start focus grouping their movies with more serious fans opposed to these generalized focus groups. And I think that's a better idea. Why they haven't been doing that for years, why Star Wars hasn't been bringing in, I mean, maybe they have, but maybe the shills just say, the people they bring in are a bit shilly. And maybe those people are like, this is awesome. But I honestly think that focus grouping actual fans, focus grouping content creators, and random ones, not the five that you keep inviting, start randomizing, start going around to other channels and start looking into that. I just feel like you bring the same five creators to every a screening with the director and the content and creators have these opportunities. I think you're creating your own bottleneck, and I think it's offering the skeptics more opportunity uh, to bash on not only the organization but the fans that come out and do these screenings. So I think maybe offering it to a different brand of channel in the social media front, and not just the ones that are doing the most positive talking, because I talk positive about Star Wars all the time, but they have problems. There's major problems going on, and whether it's whether you want to call it wokeism, whether you want to call it them not understanding Star Wars in a complete way, um, whatever it is, there's a problem over there, and I really don't think it has anything to do with I don't really think it has anything to do with the creators. I don't think it has anything to do with the story or the dialogue. I really believe that Lucasfilm in general, Disney and Disney, I guess, kind of, but more so, Lucasfilm has a real problem with television shows. They have a real problem with the pacing. They have a real problem with ending episodes. They have a real problem with dialogue. There's a real problem with the Star Wars, Lucasfilm, Disney era television show. And granted, Star Wars has never been really a television show other than the animated shows, right? Before Disney Plus, which I still believe is a giant Disney experiment, set to figure out where they want to put all of their content and where they get the most bang for buck from the customer. But honestly, it just seems like there's a problem over there. They don't shoot TV shows well. They shoot them like movies and then edit them to shows. That's not how you shoot an episodic. That's not how you shoot a television show. So they have real problems there, and I think that's where a lot of the dialogue issues may come from. I think that's where a lot of the tempo issues may come from. But if you watch these shows in a series and cut out the middle, the framing at the beginning to the end, and like shows like Kenobi, shot like a movie, cut into a TV show, has a very odd feel, and that's a huge turnoff to a lot of fans. So I think that's where Disney has several Disney Star Wars has several issues, but I don't think it's the actors. It could be the directors and showrunners. Could be the direction of John Favreau. It there's a lot of things that it could be Dave Filoni for all we know, but there's definitely a feel going on with these Star Wars television shows that have a feel to them, and there's something going on. Um, let's see what the chat has to say. The Matt Cave. I've seen plenty of criticisms about the show, but I've not yet seen a single example of racism. Has anyone found any yet? Um, okay, the Stanleys. The extent I've seen is someone say X characters poorly after a written said character happened to be a woman or PC. Yeah, there's a lot of buzzwords there. Variety shows are all the way of the future. Holiday specials. Look, I mean, now, and Matt, are you talking about from the content creators on YouTube and on X and so forth? Or are you talking about from Disney, Lucasfilm themselves? I need some clarifications on that. But look, ultimately, I don't care what race, gender, way of life, um, you live, right? And I don't necessarily blame the actors for the bad, whether it's dialogue, whether it's tempo, whatever that I think that all comes down to the executive in charge. That all comes down to the EP. That all comes down to the director. And I feel like, that holds true all the way back to the Mando era, of television show. Everybody was like praising Mando being the greatest thing to since sliced bread. But that show, I think the only reason it got so much is, was it perfect? No, but it was something new. It was something unexpected. And I think people were genuinely enjoying it. And then after a second and third season, then you can start to really criticize and break down things. But I think the first season, everyone was so excited because it was new and awesome. The return to actual movies should at least move Lucasfilm in a better direction. They struggle with television show pacing, absolutely. Meaning actual attacks on these people fueled by racism, sexism. Now, look, I don't know what their Twitter feeds look like. I don't know what their comment section looks like. I don't know what their DMs look like. I don't know what people say to them in person. So I can't really say to this. All I can say is if somebody says they're being attacked on whether it's social media, whether it's in person, whatever, by the fandom, by the channels, by the people saying negative things, I honestly can't say. But I know there's a lot of negative things being said about a majority of the acolyte uh, uh, cast crew, not so much the crew, but like director, EPs, so and so. So yeah, I know there's a lot of hate towards it. I cannot give you a specific answer because I'm not in those people's social media, but I can say that I have not personally heard anybody come out and say that character sucked because X person is insert the narrative, right? I can't say that. What I have heard is this person is a bad actor. This person wrote bad dialogue. I've heard those kind of things. Um, I've heard this actor should not have been in this movie. I've heard a lot of things, but I can't recall, mainly because I don't watch a lot of the negatives, right? I don't watch a lot of the grifters, outrage hunters, whatever, I don't really watch a lot of those, so I can't see what they're saying on their channels because I don't really watch that stuff. All I can go off of is what I see coming through my feeds on the YouTube and the Twitter and the Instagrams and all the socials. So I can't really say 100% what people are saying. I can only go off of thumbnails, titles, because I don't watch a lot of the negative stuff. I don't watch the biggest, Star Wars channel on YouTube. I don't watch that channel. I mean, I've cut the things that I've watched to the supportive communities and the more positive outlooks. I don't really need to hear all that negativity. I already live in that space. I don't need to bring that space home with me here. So Yeah. So that I just found that interesting. The actors are starting to clap back a little bit. Honestly, I would like to. I continue to. Me being as this stuff will never make it up that high, but I continue to invite, uh, um, Leslie or any of those people to come on and have a conversation about it. But they don't want to do, real questions from real fans. They want to go on Good Morning America. They want to go on, you know, these other talk shows and talk about, how people are, or these other interviews with, networks that have mics on the red carpet and stuff. They want to talk to them. They don't want to talk to people like us. And honestly, I don't blame them. But I did hear an interesting narrative. So yeah, anybody else have anything to say about actor clapback? Anybody see any other actor clapback? Please put a link in the description, or put a link in the chat, and we'll take a look at that. But I did see a couple of things that I thought were really cool, and I heard a couple of interesting theories that I kind of want to run through. And so, uh, it's a crazy Star Wars theory. Um, is that okay? So could it be possible, right? This now that everybody's had a chance to put their 2 cents in on actor clapback and such. Okay, so let's transition into a different topic. What are let's transition to somewhere else. Okay, so what are the odds? What are the odds that George Lucas gave Dave Filoni some information, and Dave Filoni has had that in his pocket for a long time, and then Dave sees an opportunity that Leslie is going to make this show that sets in time before. Okay, let's try this again. Let's see if I can make that, because I'm trying to make sense of it in my brain as I'm spewing it out to y'all. So let's try to see if I can get this right. Okay. I feel like, okay, let's see what Skywalker Academy has to say real quick. I feel like the more people point things out, the more we give attention to them, the more we also can't ignore them. What's the answer? I don't watch it. I don't watch a lot of it. Honestly, if it's negative or if I know it's going to be personal outrage or grift, I don't watch. That's just me. I don't need to. Okay. So, what are the odds that George Lucas gave a piece of information to Dave Filoni that he has been holding it in his pocket close to his chest, and when Dave gave Leslie the show, The Acolyte, and knew it was going to be placed at a certain point in time, did Dave then hand over that piece of information to Leslie to run with a little bit? Now, here's the pearl I'm talking about. In The Phantom Menace, and we could go back and I can pull it up real quick, but look back on your own. In The Phantom Menace, we see when Qui-Gon Jinn mentions encountering a Sith Lord, all of a sudden, everybody in the room is surprised, except for Mace and Yoda. And Mace looks over at Yoda with a very sinister look. Now, we see Yoda at the end of Acolyte, where Vernestra, Master V, comes to talk to Yoda after the whole Acolyte thing breaks out. Now, did she tell him the truth? And he has been hiding this the entire time, only telling his one true confidant on the council, Mace Windu. And that those two knew about the hidden Sith the whole time. Let me know what your thoughts are. Chat. Matt's on the bus. I'm wearing it just because of this today. I'm wearing it just for this today, because I knew I was going to talk about this topic. But how interesting is that, right? Could George have had this pearl in his pocket the whole time, Told Dave when he handed the reins over to Dave when George retired. And Dave knew this the whole time, handed it to Leslie to give her something to put at the end of the acolyte as a pearl. It's an interesting concept. It's an interesting idea in the fact that we all saw that look that Mace gave to Yoda, and you saw everybody else on the council was surprised. There's something in there. And I like to explore it. Now, look, I could get the most fan hate out of that topic ever. But I think it's interesting. A lot will say probably not. But maybe it was discussed. If it was discussed, this is interesting. See, and that's what I always kind of felt like Mace was kind of shrugging it off. But then you think about it and you see that last piece at the end of Acolyte, and it's like Yoda. Look, Scotty Hawks and I, even the Matt Cave, has been in on these conversations, but Scotty Hawks and I specifically, have talked about how Yoda has seen some shit and how Yoda has secrets on secrets, right? Not only did he not mention to anybody that he saw Qui-Gon Jinn and heard Qui-Gon Jinn in the Force when he got back from his little adventure with the Wills, he didn't tell anybody. He knew the war was going to end the way it was. He didn't tell anybody. Was this the first time Yoda legit just shut his mouth, let the cards play out, and was the sole survivor at the end? That's a plausibility. That's a possibility. And I like it. I'm not going to lie. I like it. I think Yoda's got secrets. Look, man, you can't have that long of a life, be around a bunch of humanoids, and pretty much be the dominant living species on the council, in the Jedi Order, and not know all the secrets. Right? He's been on a council. He's been a master for generations of humans. So what's to say he doesn't already know a lot of secrets? And that he doesn't already know? Like, for instance, does he know that the Jedi Temple is built on a Sith Temple? Or a Sith Nexus, or whatever you want to call it? Right? Because he's been there forever. It's just an interesting concept, and the idea is tantalizing, to be honest. The idea that we could have had these connecting pearls stringing all the way across time, and Master Yoda being that connective tissue between all of this. I mean, did he know about what happened in Jedi Survivor, right? Before the betrayal of I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but the bad guy in Survivor. Did he know about that whole thing? Because he was a confidant to a lot of Jedi over the millennia that he was alive. Right? So there's a lot of interesting stuff. There's a lot with that Yoda, but I really enjoyed that idea that was George holding this in his pocket the whole time. Yes, we hear that all the time. Oh, extinct for a millennium, the Sith have, right? But what if that little green dude was lying? What if he was a straight liar? He said throughout his life, constant battle with the dark side. It's a fight every Jedi fights every day. Could he have had his moments of weakness? Right? Thank you, Dagan Gera. Did he know about Dagan Gera? Right? Matt Cave says, I would love to see some stories that take place on Dagobah and see what Yoda was up to all those years. I bet there were some great stories in there. I mean, look, dude, that place was twisted. I bet you he saw a lot of crazy shit there, right? A lot of Force visions, a lot of time in the meditative state. Let's see. V probably just thinks Quimir is a fallen apprentice, a dark Jedi, depending on how they explain the story in the future, whatever medium, books, TV, etc. Sure. But I do feel like, Yoda knows all of these little truths, right? Let's see. The idea of the Sith returning would have caused panic and brought out their attackers. There were plenty of Dark Force users, and they dealt with them when they came out of hiding. Yeah, but the fact that they wrote this off to the majority of the Jedi Council as a fallen Jedi, that right there shows me that there's more sinister things going on during not only this time of great galactic peace, right? But it goes to show that they had no problem throwing people under the bus. They had no problem throwing people under the bus for their own ambition, at the order of the council, for any reason, really. I mean, they threw Homeboy, who was just trying to save some kids, right under the bus. Yeah, fallen Jedi. Yep, he was trying to correct his mess from all those years ago. You fallen Jedi. Yeah, that was him the whole time. Not, hey, there was a Sith Lord that's, shish kebabbed and skewered not, a couple Jedi. He killed a youngling. He's done some he stole an apprentice. All this stuff, man. He snapped Vorg's neck. I mean, she didn't tell any of that stuff to to anybody except for probably Yoda. So, like I said, I think Yoda's been holding these secrets the whole time, and I think he told his closest confidants in a century. That would be Mace Windu. And the great thing about Yoda is he knows the people he tells these things to are going to die before him. So there's no worry about it getting out, right? There's no worry that somebody's going to get mad at him in 100 years and spew. No, he's going to outlive everybody. And he can just say, oh, that guy was lying. I mean, I'm still alive. I'm the one that was there, right? There's so many opportunities for Yoda to have this, not hidden agenda, but this keep the peace mentality, right? This no one needs to know but me. And I will continue to look for them through meditation and through the Force. It's a very arrogant thing. And for the Grand Master of Grand Masters, he's supposed to be more humble. It just feels like Yoda's hiding some shit. That's all I'm saying. And I like this idea. Because Yoda lived so long, it's possible he pieced together that the Sith are possibly still about. But Palp's master's plan got him totally unprepared. Yeah, look, absolutely. Master V made some mistakes, right? She was trying to cover that up, but her pupil's still alive out there. So lying about it doesn't do her any good because he's out there still running Mayhem. And now he's got a legit apprentice that has power, right? They didn't see any proof that she knew. And so look, they blamed it on their one homie, right? They blamed it on Home Dog, and he took the bus. She threw. I should do another shirt with him. With V throwing him under the bus, right? But regardless, like I said, Yoda knows a lot more than he says. It looks like in that original Phantom Menace scene in the original Jedi Temple with Yoda and Mace and Anakin and everybody's in the chamber. It seems like those are the only two that weren't surprised at the thought of a Sith Lord. And secondly, he gives that look to Yoda like, damn, you were telling the truth about that one time, 100, 200 years ago. Right. So there's a lot of, what's up, Darth Lance? Star Wars Santa's here. What up, Santa? How you doing? Working in the lurkin'. There's a couple people lurking in the workins. So yeah, that's an interesting theory I heard for Santa and for Darth Lance. I'm going to lay it out real quick in the Reader's Digest version. Basically, was George Lucas holding a secret card for the Sith actually being present during that 1,000 years of peace, and that he handed that card to Dave Filoni, and that Dave handed that card over to Leslie when she started Acolyte, and Leslie showed us that actually Yoda knew about the Sith during this whole time. 200 years, 100 years, 150, whatever the timeline is, wherever they put this little piece of Star Wars. Did Yoda, Yoda knew the whole time. So when we see the council, when Qui-Gon mentions the Sith Lord, which is Maul, that Mace Windu does one of these and looks at Yoda. Yoda's not surprised. Mace is not surprised, but the rest of the council is completely surprised. Ki-Adi-Mundi's like, there hasn't been a Sith sighting in a millennium, right? And so it seems like Yoda was hiding some shit. It seems like he told his confidant, his bestie at the time, Mace Windu, to keep his mouth shut on this. And they knew that there had been a Sith sighting in, obviously in that millennium. So it's just an interesting thought. I ran across it. I thought it was brilliant. I love it because we know Yoda has lived through some shit, and we know Yoda has seen it. So the Matt Cave coming in hot with his member for a month. Oh shit. Matt says, everyone remember to like, subscribe, and share. You found an amazing place for some of the best Star Wars discussions. Oh, stop. They're just the most positive. Stop. You make me shy. Stop it. But yes, they are the most positive. Bro, they were just quiet, but wow. Yeah, look, I mean, okay, and then Skywalker Academy says, my question is, did the Acolyte break canon? If the Jedi did know, did it? But we've proven it was a plan all along. Yeah, I mean, look, I don't feel like it. Number one, I don't feel like it breaks canon. Yoda has been around for 900 years when we finally see him in Return of the Jedi. So back that up 20 years to the time, 21 years to the time of the Galactic Senate and the Republic. At that point, he's 850, 880 years old, give or take, whatever time you want to give him. Now, you've seen some stuff. And instead of raising the banners and making everybody go crazy over the sighting of a Sith and all of that, when there are literally tens of thousands of Jedi in the galaxy, at this point, I don't think Yoda found any reason, because there was an explanation. Everybody was happy with the explanation. He doesn't have to break it down. Are you coming up? You coming up? There you go. He doesn't have to. Everybody's happy. He doesn't have to go any further with the whole thing. So he doesn't. He just lets it rest. Him and Vernestra know the truth. Eventually she's going to die, and then he'll be able to tell somebody else. But I don't feel like it breaks canon. It doesn't. I mean, honestly, everybody talks about breaking canon in this show as it is. I don't think they broke canon at all, to be honest. Right? I mean, granted, yeah, she can't help but be up here. And I have a kitty cam I can show you guys if you want. Here, I'll put on the kitty cam too. But yeah, I mean, to me, it does. Oh, you did it again, didn't it? Did you do something? What did you do? What did you do? Did you hit a button? You hit a button. You silly goof. You silly goof. Did we change some stuff here? I'll change it back. Hold on. I'll change it back. Put your butt down. Put your butt down. Put your butt down. Put your butt down. No one wants to see your butt. No one wants to see your butt. Oh, did it do the... Is it doing it? Yeah, it's doing it. Oh, it's so irritating. Oh, it's so irritating. I don't know why it keeps going back to 298. It's so irritating. What did you do, little britches? What did you do? Our frame rates are all messed up, little britches. Our frame rates are all messed up. Here, we're going to put on the kitty cam. We're going to put on the kitty. Where's the kitty cam? There's the kitty cam. There's the kitty cam. Let's focus on the kitty cam. Oh, hi, Boots. Say hi. Yeah, she is. She's such a diva. She just has to be in the moment, and then she hits the thing, and she hits a button, and then boom. So we'll get back to that. Here, where's the kitty cam? Oh, there's the kitty cam while I fix this. Oh, what do I fix it? I'll fix it, and you don't have to get blamed. No one will blame you, okay? No one will blame you. I know. She's a sweetie. Okay, turn around. Hey, turn around. Thank you. Thank you. Turn around. Thank you. Okay, we're going to try to fix this now. Okay? Is that okay? We're going back to the kitty cam. Back to kitty cam. Where's Lady Boots? Where's Lady Boots? Come on, where's Lady Boots? Oh, there she is. Oh, there she is. Yeah, so I don't think it. Oh, there you are. Oh, there you are. Hello. Hello. I don't really feel like it breaks canon at all, to be honest. I'm sorry, we have to pivot because she turned off one of the cameras. It's acting all weird. Okay, so look, I don't really. To me, it doesn't feel like it's a huge canon breaker, right? Oh my God, will you cut it out already? You're driving me crazy. Okay. I'll try that for now. She's gonna come and mess something up. Okay, look. So yeah, does it play? Does it play fast and loose? Maybe, right? Maybe it plays fast and loose. But at the same time, this is not a. I don't know how to put it. This is not a canon breaker. Now look, everybody talks about the master. The canon breaker is the virgins, right? The word virgins is really has everybody up in a hoopla. The word virgins is just used to describe a powerful area where unique things in the Force can happen. It doesn't necessarily describe a virgins like a no mother virgins, right? That's not the word. If you go back and watch The Phantom Menace, look at the way it's spelled, not the way that it is said, right? Everybody's using this as like the Messiah virgins, right? The virgins that is the Messiah of Christ, right? That's not what they're talking about. You're driving me crazy today, kitty. They're talking about a virgins, a place, a nexus of power that could be in a person, right? But so yeah, that's the big, to me, that's the big reveal. Let me see if I can fix this in the software, because you just messed everything up. Yes, you did. You messed it all up. Yes, you did. You messed it all up. I know. It's not your fault. It's not your fault. It's my fault. I know it's my fault. Okay. So yeah. Okay. Let's see what Santa has to say. Besides that, why would Qui-Gon think that a high M count in Anakin was going to fulfill the prophecy about balance being brought to the Force? If the Sith are extinct, then isn't there already balance? The balance is needed if there is right, exactly. What balance is needed if there exactly. Where the planet was the Virgins, Leslie was going to call the girls the Virgins, but Lucasfilm told her to hold back on that. Anakin was the Virgins. Qui-Gon found right, but they're not talking like again. Anakin was a virgin-born human, correct, 100% correct. But was that what they were talking about? I like I said, go back. I mean, we could do it here. I could do it now. I can go back and find it. It's not like I don't watch Disney on a constant. But it does. I mean, I can do it right now if you guys want. Where's Lady Boots? There's Lady Boots. Say hi, Lady Boots. Oh, you love that thing, don't you? You love it, huh? Look, you take all my light. You take all of my light away. This is what I'm dealing with, guys. So bear with me on the stream. I'm glad we got some convos done early, before her Lady Boots got here and started, thrashing with my gear and my stream. So whatever. I don't really, doesn't really matter. Oh, you know what? Let me try it that way. So that's kind of the take that I've been. The girls were created by the virgins. Anakin was a virgin. There you go. That's a better. Yeah, she's totally trying to take over the stream today. She does this when I'm playing games. She does the same thing. But yes, that is exactly the attitude that I want people to have about this. That is a correct way to look at this, right? It is not necessarily a it is not necessary. It's a play on words, right? You can't look at this from a non-intellectual point of view, right? This entire thing is based on an intellectual point of view. And you know, was she trying to sneak one past the goalie? Sure, maybe. Right? What was she trying to was she trying all this stuff? Sure, man. But Jesus, why can't I go? Thank you. That's what I want. Thank you. Holy Jiminy Christmas. Thank you. Okay, now we're getting somewhere. Well, I don't know what you did, little girl. So yeah, look, I mean, is this a play on words? Sure. Is this, could this have been a little different? Sure. But ultimately, it is what it is. We need to get past it, and we need to move forward. And as a fandom, we can't continue to let these little things, bind us, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Right? Oh, there we go. We're back. Okay. Let's get my shutter back. Okay, we're back. Okay, so yeah, let's take a look at this from a different point of view. I mean, that's kind of what Star Wars is all about anyway, right? It's all from a different point of view. So with that being said, I want to transition into now that little kitty has joined us. Hey. Hi. Now that little kitty has joined us and taken us off the rail, I figure let's put us back on the rail. So this is what I've been talking about all week long, you little kitty devil, you cute little devil. Okay, this is what I've been looking at, and this is where the stream came from. Is Star Wars in as much trouble as we believe? Now, we talked about the Acolyte, we talked about the trouble with the Acolyte. Now we're going to get into the meat and potatoes and the dessert. So, here we go. I'm going to share this screen now. And then we're gonna stop sharing, and then we're gonna share again. Okay. So I came across this week, and I wanted to talk about it because I feel like it's important. And for all my friends that say Star Wars is dead, for all my friends that talk about Star Wars being, crap, then answer me this, and I guess I'll do this real quick. Then answer me this. Why? How and why did Star Wars make 12 billion with a B billion dollars, $12 billion in 2024? How in the holy shit did that happen if Star Wars is dead? Right? So we're going to go through this article. We're going to talk about this because it's important. It's really important. If Star Wars is dead, if there is no more reason to bother with Star Wars, then why and how did Disney make $12 billion last year? The hate, with all the hate. Please, somebody start this shit. Right? Okay. Skywalker says, I've seen 1.2 billion on the movies and 1 on the merch, but I'm not sure about 12. We're going to go through it. I kept buying those milks at Star Wars Land. Bro, you are going to be surprised, right? Where's Lance? What did Lance say? Oh, yeah, I'm glad she joined. Me too. She's a riot. She's the best. Okay, so here's the article. Now, look, this is all news. It could be satire. I don't know. I'm not trying to, but I'm just saying, based on the articles that I'm reading, let's start this. Okay, this was published 23 hours ago. This was yesterday, so I've been holding on to this one for a minute. And this was written by Jay Melzer, right? And he writes for MovieWeb. Star Wars may be getting a bad rap these days from a lot of critical fans who think that the franchise has gone woke, but according to the reports, merchandise sales are through the roof, signifying that the George Lucas creation has been nothing shy of a financial goldmine since Disney acquired it in 2012 for $4 billion. In an in-depth piece from Hollywood Reporter, so this is coming from the Hollywood Reporter, states that as of March 2024, Lucasfilm division has generated around $12 billion overall for the House of Mouse, with at least $1 billion coming from merch sales last year. Anybody got thoughts before we continue? Let's see. When Star Wars Rebels came out, they had Rebels retcon on YouTube and had a segment which tackled some plot issues. Okay, we'll get to that. Okay, back to this. The report stated that the Galaxy's Edge attraction at Disney's 2 U.S. theme park remains one of the most popular destinations for fans, with 1.2 million lightsabers alone being sold across both locations. Grogu merch remains a steady seller, although admittedly the company missed out on roughly 2.7 million in Baby Yoda sales by not anticipating how popular the character from The Mandalorian would become, and thus dropped the ball for 2019 Christmas season. It's a familiar scenario in many ways, as the same thing happened with Kenner back when Star Wars was released in 1977. And the company failed to produce any physical merch to help promote the film in the time for the holiday season. Instead, they released the Star Wars Early Bird Certificate package for $11.99, which was a cardboard cutout featuring the main characters from the movie, with a promise that anyone who bought the package would be able to secure a toy a few months later. The run on them was limited to 500,000, and while it proved to be a success, one can only wonder how much money was left on the table due to the unfortunate mishap. Okay, is this still part of it? Although the recent cancellation, yes, this is part of it. Let's see. What are you guys saying? Anything? Let's see. Skywalker Academy. Huff 2.7 million pocket change. Grogu will continue to be a top seller for years to come. People who never even watched Star Wars bought Grogu merch. Absolutely did. Bro, that's amazing. I'm so glad so many more are in Star Wars merch. Lightsabers are my trigger, dude. I watched Sheev buy a Yoda. It's like tiny. It's like the size of a light stick. It's really, it was tiny. He bought one when we were there for After Dark, man. It just they're amazing. Yeah, and that's another thing. They only just started releasing on physical media. Guys like me, Matt Cave, I know Brock Lee does the same thing. I'm not sure if his cousin Brock Chan does it too, but a lot of guys like the physical medium because you can't really watch 4K streaming. You really need to watch 4K on a physical medium to actually get that 4K, unless you're running fiber and have the sickest downloads ever, right? It's really hard to watch 4K in true 4K. Okay, let's get back to the article. Though the recent cancellation of the Acolyte and the removal of its majority of its merchandise from Disney online store got a lot of people riled up, the machine that is the Star Wars franchise continues to chug along. There are currently almost 10 upcoming movies in a variety stages from development by directors such as Dave Filoni, James Mangold, and Sean Levy, with Jon Favreau, The Mandalorian, and Grogu being the only one that have a film release date of May 2026. Daisy Ridley's upcoming film, tentative Star Wars titled New Jedi Order, is expected also to release in 2026. I heard that could be a bust, though no dates have been yet secured, and recent rumors suggest the project could be on hold due to script issues that need to be ironed out. That's what I read also. That being said, on the television side of things, Star Wars Skeleton Crew is set to be released December 3rd on Disney+. Seems right for another merchandise success for the company, as the story takes place in the same time period as The Mandalorian and centers around the children lost somewhere in the galaxy who are trying to find their way home, with a series expected to feature a wholesome host of colorful characters and premiering so close to Christmas, it's possible that one of them could be another breakout success a la Grogu. giving Disney a chance to redemption after the 2019 debacle. Either way, despite recent backlash from many fans over the perceived direction of Star Wars has been going through these recent years, it is clear that Disney's acquisition of the franchise has at least proven to be financially successful on the merchandise side of things, and we can expect video games, Lego sets, and plush dolls to adorn the shelves for many years to come. I agree. I need a Nick's Plus action, a Lego, and a character right now. I couldn't agree more. Thank you for that. So, what do you guys think? I mean, 12 Billy, that's a lot of cheese, man. That's a lot of dough. And look, I get it, man. I really get it. 100%. People are upset about the direction of Star Wars because it is not going in the direction you expect. Well, guess what, kids? I'm sorry. You don't run Star Wars. You're a fan. So do what the rest of the fans do. Put your seatbelt on and get ready for the ride because you have no say. You can put out all the content you want hating it. Star Wars Outlaws sold 1 million copies. 1 million copies at $100 a copy is $100 million in its first month. And when all of the hate settles and you guys have Skeleton Crew or something else to hate on, Outlaws will get more love. Outlaws will get more vibes because people want to play fun games and not just hear the satire. So I'm sorry if you don't like it, if it's not what you choose to enjoy and you want to hate on it, hate on it. Do you, babe? But don't come here or put us on your stream and make fun of us for enjoying this stuff. Are there problems? Hell yeah. There's problems with everything. There's no perfect shows, especially shows with this kind of canon. But we choose here, in this little slice of my pie, this is where we enjoy it. This is where we have fun. This is where we're positive about it. So, yeah, am I glad that Star Wars made $12 billion last year? Hell yeah, I am. You coming up, little britches? No? Am I excited? Yeah, I'm really excited because it's right in your face. It's right in your face. Spend $300 million on Acolyte. Who gives a shit? You're making that money on Star Wars. That's a penny in the pot compared to anything else they're making. I don't care that Outlaws made $100 million and they spent $300 million. Let's say they spent the same as Acolyte. It's a $300 million game. Let's just say, I don't think that's the truth, but let's just say for grins. So you made 1/3 of your 1/3 of the revenue in the first month. Now you're going to sell Nick's action figures and Nick's Lego sets and Nick's plush dolls, which I want all of these now. You're going to make your money there also. You're going to make your money back on that also. So look, man, everybody can say what they want about Star Wars. Is Star Wars dead? Hell no. Making $12 billion regardless of what the ratings are for their shows? Making $12 billion last year in a shit Star Wars year. According to everything you watch on YouTube, Book of Boba Fett, Kenobi, Ahsoka, Andor, go through the list. According to everybody, it was a shit Star Wars year. The viewership was garbage. Well, guess what? They still made $12 billion last year. Sorry to say, Star Wars is very much alive. Star Wars is very much thriving. And for all of the personal outrage hunters, for all of the grifters, look at the numbers. Because I know you guys are. You're going to go back and tear it apart and this and that. Doesn't matter. It's a W. Last year was a W regardless of all the hate. W's. Call it a win. End of story. End of story. Last year was a W for Star Wars. Star Wars lives. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what they pay for these TV shows. It doesn't matter what they pay for these games. It doesn't matter if the biggest Star Wars creator on YouTube says that Outlaws is garbage. It doesn't matter. They're going to make it up on the merch. They're going to make it up on the back end. People are going to get it when the price comes down. They'll make another 50 million on it. It doesn't matter what we say. It only matters the dollars and cents. And when they come out and say 12 billion, I don't care if they made $4 billion last year. They're making billions. 300 million for a show, pennies in the pot. 100 million for a game, pennies in the pot. What you guys don't realize is that you're just giving them ammunition to not make any more shit. Doesn't matter if you enjoy it or not. What are you going to talk about? What did you talk about in the vastness of space during the sequels to The Mandalorian? What did you talk about? So you're creating this thing. Talk shit about it, but support it nonetheless, or support the people that are trying to support it so that you can bag on it and get your clicks. Because I'm not getting those clicks. I got 7 people here. I'm not getting those clicks. Y'all are. So maybe support the people that are supporting it so that you can not support the supporters of the support. I don't know, man. I'm just saying. They made money. Star Wars is alive. Sorry, not sorry. Anybody else got anything? That was the dessert for me. I had my dessert last. I guess we had the veggies and the steak early. Yeah, bro. I love the Knicks with the goggles. Forget it, dude. And if they do a Lego set, they have to do all of the accessories for Knicks so that you can like put the helmet on or put the goggles on or put a Lego scarf on, something, dude. It's so good. It's such a good character. It's so cute and lovable. I could see every little girl in the United States with a Knicks doll and a Lola, because those are the 2 cutest things for girls I've seen Star Wars do in decades. It's amazing. I don't care that they're gearing towards girls with these things. I love it because there are so many girls and women that love Star Wars. I can't even tell you. The conversations I have in the Muggle world, the women that talk to me about Star Wars, there's so many women that were like, did you see The Acolyte? It was amazing. Did you see Ahsoka? It was amazing. Yeah, I did. Let's talk about it. Tell me what you think. So everybody's watching. This isn't made for just one group of people. It's made for everybody to enjoy. Stop gatekeeping. Stop gatekeeping. That's what I have to say. Because I'll tell you right now, they don't want to collab with me. They don't want to bring my positive ass anywhere near their streams. They don't want to come here either. Because there's nothing but positivity living here. In this dark vessel that occupies my space, this is a place for positivity. This is where all the positivity and joy comes out. Right here with you guys, with the people that are constantly here. Again, the members, you guys are the backbone of this. Like I said, there's like 10 of you. But I appreciate every one of you for every minute that you can stay here, for every minute you choose to enjoy this. This is the lighthouse on the shore, guiding positive Star Wars fans to the shore. In the darkness of Star Wars media, this is the lighthouse. So continue to come back. We are going to continue to do what we do. Star Wars will never die. It will have an epic highs and epic lows, but it will never die, ever. And right now, I'm not saying it's peak. I'm just saying $12 billion. Seems like a lot of money for 1 year that everybody's calling a shit year. I can't help but completely agree. We shall continue to provide greatness and experience. Yes, may the force be with you also. Yeah, man, it's a trip. Like I said, I am trying to do something different. I'm trying to enjoy these times, these articles, right? This is a place different from any of the other Star Wars channels, because this is a place where we continue to provide positivity, motivation, and keep everybody going. There's much to come. We're working on great things here. They're huge. They're going to be wonderful. I can't tell you about them, but we got some plans. But yeah, we're doing big shit here. There's something we're working on. I'm picking up some gear for it today. We got a box in the kitchen that's waiting to get unveiled for you guys just before the video or live stream. We might do both. Steve, thank you for being here for a month. We applaud you as always. All of the members, thank you for being here. Be sure to use your monthly membership shout out. But yeah, if you didn't catch the video at the beginning of the stream, we try to shout out all of our members every chance we get. Yeah, it's been a month already. I mean, like I said, we didn't make a big deal about 1,000 subscribers like most channels do because we knew we would get there. We were excited to get there, but the monetization was the big goal. Took a lot longer than we would hope for. We did it organically. We tried to keep it, and trying to keep it positive, not buying into the algorithm, not buying into the hate, and to continue to be positive. So please join the membership if you want to be involved in the channel more. Members obviously get your custom emojis, you get your member icons, and you get access to more behind the scenes stuff. You get to see a little more of what I do in the real world, in the Muggle world, and we're gonna do more member content behind the scenes here and going on. There's a couple of videos we're working on right now. But again, the members will get access to what we're doing early. So yeah, everybody, thank you for being around. We just wanted to come in and share a morning with you guys. Hopefully we made it a little better with a little bit of positivity, sharing some good news, some interesting information as we wait for the Skeleton Crew to come back. But I recommend, now that the Acolyte is fully out, do yourself a favor, go and watch the whole thing in one series. Give yourself a couple hours. Go from stem to stern, skip over, next episode, skip over intros, try to get through the whole thing in one sitting and see if it sits better with you. I told somebody the other day, if you're not interested in seeing the witches chant their little chants and stuff like that, fast forward through that. You don't really need to watch that stuff. If there's something that you've seen and you come to that part, just fast forward it, because you know what? It's if you didn't want to watch it for that reason, then you're not going to miss anything in skipping it. So I recommend going back, giving the Acolyte a second look if you already gave it one look. And as always, I'm going to tell you guys the way I tell everybody: don't forget to get out there and get your pet spayed, neutered, help control the pet population. As always, tell the people in your life how you feel today, good, bad, or ugly, because you never know what tomorrow might bring. Do it today, because today is a present. That's why we call it a gift. As always, thank you everybody for being here. Thank the members. As always, you guys are the backbone of this community. May the force be with you all. Have a good week. And let me know in the comments, in the chat, in the Discord, anywhere you choose to communicate here. Let me know if you like these morning streams. We can do other stuff, but I'm going to ask the community as a whole if you guys want to do some different stuff. So stick around, check out the community tab, join, subscribe, like, all that fun stuff. Support everybody in your local community. And as always, may the force be with you. Thank you, everybody.